Can you hear me at the back? I have to ask because we were at a wedding last week and Mum was sending smoke signals from the back of the room because she couldn't hear me, so thought I may as well ask. Commandant Donnelly on Taoiseach, ministers, family, friends, and to the thousands of well-wishers who in the past few days have sent their messages of condolence and sympathies. Thank you for coming to pay respect to my mother, Marian. Those of us who knew her well knew that Mam was never more than a deep and meaningful conversation or an emotional story away from having a good old cry. So, as her only son, you'll understand if I shed a few myself as I speak to you. I have to begin by thanking a few people. That's what Mam would have done. So I'd like to say I want to thank the friends and family who've rallied around and given us great strength in this dark time. Your organisation and your willingness to pitch in is greatly appreciated by Dad and me. Monsignor Kieran, for your guidance and compassionate words. I know Mam was inordinately proud of your achievements and hopeful for what your future might bring. To the Collivat family for the beautiful flowers here in the church today. For dear Nivreen and the wonderful musicians for sharing the music with us. To my stepbrothers and your families, my cousins, our neighbours, to my beautiful wife Jennifer for stepping in at a time of crisis and keeping the show on the road. Mam would have been so proud and grateful to see all the family come together and muck in, so thank you all. The Marians we know, many people across the length and breadth of this country have their own personal experience of and relationship with Marian and the many versions of her that there are. The mother, the wife, the sister, the aunt, the stepmother, the mother-in-law, the friend, the colleague, the journalist, the radio host, the social commentator, the activist, and the architect. Each of these versions of Marian touched us because she had a great empathy and her curiosity made all these selves very genuine. The woman I knew behind all these selves was a shy lady who was as happy reading a book in silence as she was sitting around the dinner table in the small hours of the morning with friends, laughing, joking, singing when she could remember the words, debating the politics of the day, and generally sorting out the world's problems one dinner party at a time. The lady who liked being in bed during a storm, listening to the wind and rain crashing against the windows with the duvet pulled up to her chin. A classy lady with soul in the truest sense. She had a razor-sharp mind, she was patient, she was compassionate, and she was great company. At home, the matriarch was deeply protective of her family. Mam was not a strict mother, luckily for me, but she would let me know when I was being foolish. Her own mother, my granny, was a wonderful, stoic, religious woman who had sent Mam back to school after her leaving cert because she thought Mam was a bit too young and probably a bit too wild for university. The result for us was that Mam gave us great freedom. She respected good effort, she rewarded independent thinking, she believed we should continually educate ourselves. She loved to debate things just for the sport of it. She believed that respect was always deserved and not just earned, and when it was lost, there was room for forgiveness. Nobody is always good, and nobody is always bad. Bhí rá an teanga gaeilge láidir ag mo mháthair. Bhuaigh si dom cé có tábhachtach is a bhfuil sé chun an teanga a feilim agus a labhairt. Chuir si bródarm as mo chuid fréamhacha éirneacha agus buchas orthaí do sin. Tuige man isis, céin fág gur rinne si cad é sin, agus cag mé aber gur mágat. Courage. One of her favourite songs was Revolution by the Beatles. In it, the line, "You say you want a revolution, yeah? We all want to change the world." This is a challenge that she accepted. Her activism and her charity were real because she lived the problems she tried to fix. Her work with the Irish Hospice Foundation and the work of Friends in Ireland were fueled by her experiences with my sister Sinead and the death of her own mother. She had the courage to step up to life's challenges publicly and reflected on them privately. Mam taught me that if you want a revolution, you can start one by challenging people, by finding commonalities, and by finding within people their humanity and their capacity to improve. Stand up straight, she'd say, look them in the eye, and go from there. Mam lived many lifetimes in her life. Her legacy to me is to travel, to learn, to live a life that's full of love, and her spirit will live on when the next generation of her family is born next month. Jenny and I will try to raise our child to have courage, curiosity, and kindness, all virtues that Marian espoused. Thank you, Mam. We love you and we'll miss you terribly.